All right, boys, we did it again. That was a chaotic game, but we pulled out the W. Barcelona beat Rayo Vallecano 2-1 at Rayo Stadium. It's always a tough match there. They figured it out. It was definitely a tough, and there's a lot of stuff to talk about, but we won. 3 points out, 9 points on the board. It's pretty good considering where Madrid are, so I'm pretty happy with this. Obviously, there are questions to be asked of the side, and we'll get into a little bit of why that is and what went on a little bit after the player ratings today. But I think it is something similar to what we've been seeing from the club and from the team so far this season, and I'm not exactly surprised. However, let's get into the player ratings a little bit and then get into the flow of the game as we talk through them. So, at the back, Marc-Andre ter Stegen, first and foremost. Some of the guys in chat during the live stream on Tifo, again, link in the description, just sign up for free using code ROLU. There's no ads on it right now. It's in beta, which is why you need a code to join, but I bring people up at halftime. I think it's a much better live streaming offering than what we see on Twitch and YouTube. So check it out. I see the argument for asking questions about ter Stegen there. I think he probably could have been maybe a little bit closer to the post, gotten a foot on it, but realistically, I think it was just a very good strike. And most keepers are probably letting that in. It was hit with a lot of power from close range, right in the bottom corner. So I see the argument. It's not a perfect performance from him because of that. I think he gave away the ball a couple times, if I do remember correctly. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. I miss some things for this all the time, and that's what happens. I can't be perfect. I can't go 11 out of 11 here with my ratings all the time. But I'm going to give him just a 6 because I think he was okay at some points. He came out for crosses or, won corners, punched corners out a few more times, I think today than I've seen him do recently. I think that's good. So I'm going to give him a 6. Conceded a goal, but I think he was okay all around. Didn't face a ton. I think he made 3 saves in total, faced 8 shots. Koundé on the right now, I don't think he was great in the first half. I really think he got beat a lot and could have been better there. I think he improved a lot in the second half, specifically going forward. I think he linked up really well with Lamine, got into a couple very dangerous positions, and was pretty key in opening up space for a couple of the goals. I think he had a good game. Got into a couple of dangerous situations in the second half, which, if we're going based off his first half, probably more of a 5, 5.5, 6. But I'm going to give him a 7 because of his performance in the second half was much more solid. Wasn't the best defensively, which actually I'm going to give him a 6.5 because of that. I'm going to be a little bit more strict on him for that reason. I think he is usually better defensively, and he wasn't great today. Got beat a little bit more than I would have liked. For that reason, 6.5. Pau Cubarsí, I think he was better today than last game. I got criticized for my ratings last game because, he might not have been perfect defensively, but he was good on the ball. I didn't notice that, and I apologize. Today, I think he was, again, very good on the ball, made a couple of good runs through the middle, when maybe he doesn't have any outlets through the middle, and his wing backs are being pressed wide or something. He runs through the middle to open up space. We used to see that a lot from Gerard Piqué. And Cubarsí did it today, and it looked pretty good. He also had a couple switches of play that were fantastic. So I'm going to give him a 7.5. I think he was pretty solid defensively, too. I think he was better defensively today, and so was Inigo Martinez. I don't love Inigo Martinez. I never have, and I never will. But today, I think he was better defensively. I think he won a couple headers, and he got himself in good positions at times. Right in that chaotic final 10 added minutes insanity, I think he was pretty instrumental in winning headers and blocking off crosses. I think we could also ask more from him and Cubarsí and Koundé as well on the goal. They didn't all step up. Inigo Martinez stepped up, and Pau Cubarsí and Koundé specifically didn't really follow very well, or it was very delayed, and that let the guy be onside and score. But maybe Inigo could have talked louder. Maybe Inigo could have decided just not to push forward, not to just not play offside, allow it to happen. Yeah, I think 7.5. I'm going to give him a 7.5, same as Cubarsí. Martin, though, I thought Gerard Martin was very poor in the first half. I think he got a little bit better in the second half, but I'm going to give him a 5. I think he got beat a lot. He is 22. He doesn't have a lot of first team football under his belt, so he's gonna have some stinkers, and today was one of them. At least in the first half, he was pretty bad. He got beat a lot. They were really exposing our right side, and he had a lot of responsibilities going forward, which he very clearly is not very good at. And I think that's part of the reason Hansi Flick has him in over Hector Forte or Balde. They were sitting Balde because they wanted to give him rest. Obviously, he ended up coming in, but Martin is just not good going forward. He could be better defensively, but I don't even think he was great defensively today, even though he's 6'1", he's a bigger guy. I don't think he was great. And so I think that 5 is probably fair, even though I think in those like 15 minutes he played in the second half before Balde came in, I think he was better both going forward at opening up space, and he did play one dangerous ball to Rafinha, if you guys remember. Okay, hopefully that didn't interrupt the recording, but my camera just died, so I had to swap out the battery. But yeah, I think he improved in the second half, which for that reason I'm going to bump him up to a 5.5. He was pretty bad in the first half, but played a couple good balls in the second. So moving to the midfield, I thought Bernal was really good. He had a little injury scare. I don't know what the deal is with that. I haven't really checked Twitter. This is immediately after the game, so I don't know anything. But I thought he was very solid defensively. And he showed signs, we were talking about this today in the live stream, again on Tifo, that he is more of a Rodri than a Busquets. And in that, I mean, he's probably a little bit less press resistant than Busquets was, which, I mean, everyone is, but he's much better at going forward. He has a shot on him. We saw hints of that today where he likes to shoot. And I think somebody in chat said he had 82 goals in 80 games, something insane like that. That's a really good metric for a defensive midfielder. And I think he's better as a box-to-box, but, you know, right now we need him as a defensive midfielder. And doing that, he was great. I'm going to give him... I want to give him an 8, and you know what? I think I'm going to. I don't really think he put a foot wrong today. I think he had a good game, and you know, yeah, I think he was right up there with our most consistent player. I think he was better than the entire back line, bar Kubarsi, maybe. I think Bernal was really good today, and I really liked the way he fought to win the ball back, especially considering he was very much alone in playing as that pivot because Pedri was playing so far forward a lot, which is okay at times, but, you know, it can expose us, especially against better teams. It was somewhat okay today. Bernal was very good. I think an 8 is probably fair. Pedri was fantastic. I think he started a little slow. There were a few moments where I didn't love it, but there's the way he connects with these guys, especially Dani Olmo in the second half, which I'm excited to get into. Pedri was really good. I'm going to give him an 8.5 just because he started a little slow. Misplaced a couple passes, or no, he lost the ball a couple times, which was a little bit uncharacteristic. But man, just the expertise he has on the ball, his calmness and la pausa in the box there to score that goal, collect his feet off a ball that wasn't the best, really well done. And yeah, I think he deserves an 8.5 or a 9. I'm gonna give him an 8.5. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. Really good work from Pedri. I love watching him. He's a joy to have on healthy and on the pitch, and hopefully, as guys come back from injury, Dani, specifically Gavi and Frankie de Jong, hopefully Pedri's minutes can be limited a little bit because I don't want him to play too much football, but he very much so might, and it's looking like he probably will. Whatever. Lamine Yamal, I think he had a really good game too, and that's wild to say because I think Espino, who's the left back for Rayo Vallecano, was fantastic today. I think he was really good at limiting Lamine, really getting tight to him and blocking him off and making it very hard. And Lamine still got an assist, still created a couple dangerous chances, put in a couple really good shots on his left foot, even though everyone knew he was going to shoot with his left. He's got a little bit of that Robin in him where they know where he's going, but he's too quick or too good and gets there anyway. Lamine, I'm going to give him an 8. I think an 8 is pretty fair. Rafinha, I think he was really good today too. I'm going to only give him a 7.5 today opposed to, you know, any higher, only because he could have done a little bit more in the final third. I think that final ball or his final shot or his finish or his actual conversion of chances could have been better. He did get an assist for the Pedri goal, but I think he could. There were some moments where he, you know, misplaced a pass or forced something not unnecessarily, and that's okay when you press and you move and you do so much like Rafinha does. We can tolerate that. And so I'm going to give him a 7.5 just because of that lack of a moment there, but still great overall, 7.5. I would probably give him an 8 too, but I really don't care. It's something in that range. But Ferran Torres is the exact opposite of Rafinha, where he runs a little bit and he does a lot and he gets into good positions like Rafinha does, and he also doesn't convert it, but it's more upsetting with Ferran Torres because it feels like he's not on the same wavelength of all of those other guys in front of him. Not really Lewandowski or Rafinha or Lamine Yamal or Pedri. Everyone going forward seems to be wanting to do something a little bit different than Ferran. I'm gonna have a video out on Ferran Torres this week and get into it a little bit more there, but there's just something off, and I hope he figures it out, but it was really blatant that he was not as good when Dani Olmo came in. But again, we'll get to that with the subs. Lewandowski was off his game today too. That finish that was called, canceled or whatever, goal, whatever, ruled out because of Koundé kind of stepping on a guy's toe. That was a little bit soft for my taste, but whatever. I thought that was a good finish. I don't think he had his best game today. I think he ran a good amount, but someone pointed out, I think it was Lars in the live stream as well, that Lewandowski had, in the first half, there were 5 players with an average field position higher up the pitch than Lewandowski. That's not great. I don't know if that's necessarily a terrible thing, but it's not a good thing when we need him to be a box presence and finishing goals. He also missed a blatant chance that shot right across the face of goal and right in front of him. It was going fast, but he's got to finish that. He's Robert Lewandowski, so yeah, I'm going to give him a 6. I think he could have been better. Unfortunate that his goal didn't stand. If it stood, it would have been a little bit of a different story, probably a 7, but it didn't. Now to the subs, and first and foremost, Dani Olmo is really good at this game. He hit the ground running today. He was fantastic. He was telling people what to do. He was telling people where to go. He was being assertive and confident and hungry, like we used to see from Gavi or Firmino shows every once in a while, or we see from Pedri too, or Rafinha. I'm really excited for Dani Olmo, and I really like the fact that we have guys that can take minutes from Dani Olmo. He doesn't have to play every game because we have so many other guys that can cover a similar position. That's really good for us. It's really good, hopefully, for Dani Olmo's health. Great finish on that goal. Probably not my man of the match because I think I give it to Pedri, but Dani Olmo was really, really good. I wish he played 90 minutes. I'm okay with him playing 45 because it worked out anyway. He's a lot better than Ferran Torres was today, and he just linked up well with Pedri. I think their connection is great. Obviously, his connection with Lamine was really good as well. It should be with how much football they played together this summer. It's exciting, man. Dani Olmo's really good, and just you got to pray he stays healthy, but he changed the game. And what did I give him? An 8.5, but I'm going to give the man of the match to Pedri because I think he influenced the game for a longer period of time. Obviously, he was on the pitch for twice as long. Balde also changed the game. It was very clear that we were suffering on this left side, not only defensively, but going forward. There was really nothing going on. But as soon as Balde came on, I'm not saying we attacked a ton on this left side, but more things happened. We were more defensively solid. We were calmer with the ball. He's much better on the ball than Gerard Martin was. Balde's really good, and we can't really risk him getting hurt because it looks like Hansi Flick doesn't trust Hector Fort there, and I think Alex Valle is leaving. So we're a little bit shallow there at fullback, which is not where I thought we were going to be considering the depth we had before Julian Araujo and Valle left, but whatever. And Dest as well. He got hurt though. Balde, I'm going to give him a 7.5. I think he was really good for the minutes that he had and really could not have been more impressive. He was good, and so was Fermin Lopez. Fermin, I'm going to give him a 7.5 too. I think he was responsible, and he also came on in a little bit of a different position than we normally see from him, right? He normally plays as a cam, played as more of a withdrawn box to box, you could say, and was smart, really chose not to force things in some situations, pushed to the ball further up the pitch very often with his incredible progressive runs. He had a good game, and I'm excited to see more of Fermin. And Pau Victor was okay. Lost the ball a couple times. He was playing as a right winger. I think he's normally either a left winger or a striker, so he's a little out of position. I hope he gets some time not only at left wing, but at striker. And I'm hoping next game Ferran Torres doesn't start. But overall, I think considering the lack of depth at the back, the weird kind of setup this is without Araujo, without Balde, without a real defensive midfielder there. Marc Bernal can cover that, but he isn't an out-and-out defensive midfielder. I think it's okay. We might concede a goal every game. That might happen, and that until Araujo comes back or we get some more solidity there or Inigo Martinez really turns it on or we sign Jonathan Tah, whatever happens, if they can score, it's okay. If they can keep scoring like this, and they are creating a lot. They might have only put up 1.4 XG, but they had 22 shots on goal. Against Rayo, who played pretty well, there was a lot of intensity there. I think Rayo was dangerous a lot. Got a little hairy in the last few minutes. I can't believe there were 11 added minutes. That was ridiculous. But with Soto Grande and everything bad about him, the non-call for Dani Olmo's pen right at the beginning was a little weird. This team is really exciting. even with this match being as chaotic as it was. And I'm really, really looking forward to the next few weeks and months and the next year with this side. There's a lot of talent there. Obviously, it's a lot to ask. There is some depth in some places, a big lack of it defensively, but a lot of quality everywhere. And that's great. But yeah, subscribe to this channel, subscribe to Robbie Lou, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out. I'll be live again on Saturday, again on TIFO. The link is in the description, code ROLU for now, and it's free. And I'll see you guys all later. Peace.